but still I knew the talk's begun. The quiet held more weight than sound, and pulled me in where truth is found. No ink, no voice, no printed phrase, but silence echoed through the haze. When silence rolled back, I heard it clear. It spelled the things I couldn't hear. A gentle note, a softened track. My heart replied, but not in black. You didn't speak, you didn't laugh. You listened, and silence wrote back. I turned the page, expecting space, but felt your presence take its place. No punctuation, yet it said more than the words we've ever read. The breath between the lines was loud, a hush that somehow stood so proud. When silence rolled back, I heard it clear. It spelled the things I couldn't hear. A gentle note, a softened track. My heart replied, but not in black. You didn't speak, you didn't laugh. You listened, and silence rolled back. Sometimes the loudest kind of grace is found in stillness we embrace. And when the noise begins to fade, the soul will answer what's not said. Final, when silence rolled back, it felt like home, like every pause was carved in stone. You didn't need to write me more. I found myself in what you wore. No page, no ink, no planned attack, just you and silence writing back. You sat across, but looked away, like pages torn from yesterday. I wrote the words I couldn't say, and kept them in a secret place. They stayed behind the ink and lines, frozen in a different time. These are the lines I never sent, folded and faded, haven't been. Wishing you'd hear them in the wind, but silence answered once again. I traced your name, then let it go. Between the lines, the hurt would show. 1,000 ways I tried to start, but never made it past my heart. It's not that I forgot the way, I just let the moment slip away. These are the lines I never sent, folded and faded, haven't been. Wishing you'd hear them in the wind, I'll whisper them beneath my breath. They live inside what's left unsaid. There's a line on my wrist, not drawn with ink, but with what I miss. You wrote it in a time long gone. Still it sings when I'm alone. Not every scar is meant to fade. Some are stories that we made. It's ink beneath the skin, not seen, but it bleeds in every in-between. Every word you left on me still whispers like a memory. You're gone, but you've never been. From the ink beneath my skin, I turned your pages one by one and felt the weight of what you've done. A love too deep, a truth too raw, etched in silence, I still saw. You never knew how loud it cried. That softness carved on the inside. It's ink beneath the skin, not seen, but it bleeds in every in-between. Every word you left on me still whispers like a memory. You're gone, but you've never been. In the ink beneath my skin, some notes don't need a sound. They echo in the soul, not out loud. You didn't sign it, but I knew. This hurt had always come from you. Final ink beneath the skin, not shown, but it's written in my bones alone. Every breath I breathe, your silence sits beneath my skin, still there, where you've always been. Your words were hidden in the folds, like secrets never meant to be told. I turned the pages one by one, each line away I couldn't outrun. I didn't rush, I held you slow, afraid to find what I might know. and so was I. In every breath, a long goodbye. The corners curled, the ink was faint, a quiet ache that time can't paint. I saw myself in what you wrote, a love too soft to ever flow. I didn't blame, I understood the way you broke the best you could. Softly I unfolded you, like petals bruised but still in bloom. I read your heart in every tear, the ones you wrote but left unclear. You were fragile, and so was I. In every breath, a long goodbye. I never needed perfect lines, just honesty between the signs. And though you never meant me to, I found myself inside of you. Final softly I unfolded you, and let your silence pull me through. Even the pages left unread still whispered all you never said. You were broken, and so was I. But some goodbyes don't need to be goodbye. still hurt you from inside. Not every story's meant to end. Some stay unread but never bend final. The lovely end. There's a voice between the pages, where silence builds its quiet stages. No need for light, I saw you there between the words. The lovely air still ringing from forgotten phrases. A voice between the pages. I never read the main headline. I searched for notes you left behind in faded ink along the side. That's where your soul forgot to hide. It wasn't what you meant to share, but I found you living there. I fell for the margins, the crooked lines, the way your thoughts danced out of time, the little flaws you tried to hide were everything that felt alive. Not the story you tried to write, but the whispers left outside. I traced your doodles in the light, like constellations in the night. The words that didn't make the cut still told me more than you ever said up front. You were trying not to speak, but I heard you in the crease. I fell for the margins, the crooked lines, the way your thoughts danced out of time, the little flaws you tried to hide were everything that felt alive. Not the story you tried to write, but the whispers left outside. Maybe love is not the part that's polished clean or shaped like art. It's in the space that breaks, that bends, where truth forgets to make amends. Final love for the margins, the parts you missed, the cracks between the perfect script. I read the silence you never meant, and love the parts you never sent. You were more than black and white. You were scribbled into light to light. You started writing late at night, a trembling hand beneath dim light. But halfway through that aching line, the meaning blurred, then lost to time. You paused like you could hear the end, and left the rest to never send. Before the ink ran dry, You tried to say goodbye, but words got caught behind your eyes, and silence swallowed every why. I read the page, I heard the cry you left behind before the ink ran dry. The paper curled from something deep, a truth too sharp for you to keep, a thought you held but couldn't bear, so you let go into the air. And though your pen was in your hand, your heart had drawn a trembling stand before the ink ran dry. You tried to say goodbye, but words got caught behind your eyes, and silence swallowed every why. I read the page, I heard the cry you left behind before the ink ran dry. Before the ink ran dry. I wonder what you meant to write, what feeling faded out of sight. But in the pause I still could see the part of you you gave to me. Before the ink ran dry, I felt your final try. No need for words, no need to lie. Some truths are born to say goodbye. I held the page, I held your sky. You drifted off before the ink ran dry. No one understands, a thought too soft to say out loud, so I hid it in the paper clouds. It wasn't meant for eyes to find, just meant to echo in your mind. It was not meant no titles bold, no ending clear, just trails of you that led me here. Between the dates, between the lines, I left a map, no clear design. I never signed it with my name, but There's a letter time forgot, tucked away in a coffee-stained spot. The words once bold, now barely true, still echo soft in handwritten blue. You didn't know it'd last this long, but silence keeps what's written wrong. Fading in handwritten blue, the lines are pale but still feel true. Though time erased what ink once knew, my heart still reads the ghost of you. It lingers there like morning dew, fading in handwritten blue. The curves of letters, soft and wide, still hold your voice I used to hide. I trace the strokes you made with care, like you were still somehow there. You never signed it with goodbye, but I still felt you slipping by. Fading in handwritten blue, the lines are pale but still feel true. Though time erased what ink once knew, my heart still reads the ghost of you. It lingers there like morning dew, fading in handwritten blue. I pressed the page against my chest and felt the parts you never guessed. The ink may fade, the page may tear, but what you felt still lingers there. Final fading in handwritten blue, still breathing in the quiet too. You wrote me once and never knew your words would last beyond the view. I keep them close like something new, fading, but always breaking through. She sat by the window, eyes far away, didn't move much, didn't need to say. But something in the way she breathed told stories deeper than belief. No words escaped her lips that night, but I still heard her loud and right. She spoke without sound, in glances, in the way she drowned. Inside her thoughts she stood her ground, and I could hear her spinning round. No need to shout, no lines profound. She spoke without a single sound. She held her book like it held her too, as if the pages somehow knew. what she had lost, what she forgave, the love she buried but never gave. You'd never guess by how she said, but silence screamed, and that was that. She spoke without sound, in glances, in the way she drowned. Inside her thoughts she stood her ground, and I could hear her spinning round. No need to shout, no lines profound. She spoke without a single sound. Some voices live in deeper streams, not always heard but always seen. And some confessions don't need air, they echo through the way we care. She spoke without sound, still louder than the world around. She broke me down without a word, and left me healed by what I heard. A quiet truth so full and round. She spoke without a sound. I didn't hold the pen that day, but somehow every word knew what to say. Like someone saw beneath my skin and wrote the things I kept within. It felt like breathing lines I missed, a quiet truth I can't dismiss. The words knew me more than I did, found the cracks I always hid. I didn't write, but I belonged inside the verse, inside the song. It wasn't mine, but I could see the words. They knew me. Each sentence felt like deja vu, like someone dreamt the way I do. They spoke of nights I didn't share, and fears I buried underwear. They held my silence in their arms and turned my damage into art. The words knew me more than I did, found the cracks I always hid. I didn't write, but I belonged inside the verse, inside the song. It wasn't mine, but I could see the words. They knew me. Not every voice is loud and clear. Some echo from the things we fear, and sometimes ink on paper white becomes the mirror in the night. The words knew me line by line, more honest than this heart of mine. I didn't speak, but they replied to parts of me I always hide. It wasn't cover soft, the pages worn, to keep the names, the thoughts unspoke, still breathing through the lines they wrote. Every page a silent scream, every word a ghost in dream. Ghosts in the notebook calling me, whispers trapped in history. They never left, they never died, just waited where the ink had dried. 1,000 sighs between each look, still haunting in this open book. Forgotten dates of fleeting love and twist of fates. No ending ever quite aligned, just stories paused and left behind. Some lines were crossed, some left to fade, but all of them refuse to fade. Ghosts in the notebook calling me, whispers trapped in history. They never left, they never died, just waited where the ink had dried. 1,000 sighs between each look, still haunting in this open book. They float between the lines I trace, unfinished thoughts I can't erase. They speak in hush, they cry in rhyme, suspended in another time. Final ghosts in the notebook still remain in every smudge and water stain. They echo soft in quiet rooms like flowers pressed that still perfume. I read, I feel, I never shook the ghosts in this notebook.
I folded slow that final page, wrote down the truth I couldn't say. A simple line, a heart confessed, in ink I thought would do the rest. I left it there for him to find, a quiet hope, a softened line. But he never read that page, the one I filled with all my brave. He skipped ahead or stopped too soon and missed the words beneath the moon. He never knew, he turned too fast and left my heart in shadows past. He held the book with careless hands and skimmed the parts he'd understand. But love was written slow and wide, between the fears I couldn't hide. I gave him all I didn't speak, but silence isn't what he seeks. And he never that don't resound. And he never read that page where I had tried to be so brave. The story ended, one breath short, unseen, unheard, a last resort. He never knew, he turned too fast, and now that page is all that lasts. Ooh.
I wrote a line, then crossed it out. The words were real, but filled with doubt. Each letter sealed in quiet pain, then folded once and hid again. I never stamped, I never sent, but every fold was a mend. Letters folded into regret, paper creased in silhouettes of what I should have said back then, but left to wither in the pen. You'll never know what I confessed in letters folded into regret. I stacked them all in a wooden drawer where love and fear had war before. Some edges torn, some barely dry, but all of them just asking why. I never meant to let them die, but silence grew where truth should lie. Letters folded into regret, paper creased in silhouettes of what I should have said back then, but left to wither in the pen. You'll never know what I confessed in letters folded into regret. They say that time can let things heal, but not the things you never feel. And every word I didn't send still circles back again. Final folded into regret, still breathing in my faded chest. Not poems, not lies, just words unsent, too fragile for the moment's strength. They sit in silence, still unread. These letters folded into regret.
You wrote so calm, so perfectly neat, each sentence dressed in soft deceit. But there it was, a trembling phrase, trapped in brackets, lost in haze. I saw the truth you tried to hide,
in quiet curves you brushed aside. You cried in parentheses, not in lines, but in between. A tear disguised in casual tones that only someone close had known. The world just read the surface breeze, but I saw you in parentheses. You said you're fine, but not okay. You smiled in text, then turned away. Each word composed, controlled and clean. But silence echoed in between. They all just skimmed, they never knew, but I was tracing every clue. You cried in parentheses, not in lines, but in between. A tear disguised in casual tones that only someone close had known. The world just read the surface breeze, but I saw you in parentheses. Not every scream is loud or clear. Some drown beneath what we appear. And you wrote like no one saw, but I could hear your every flaw. You cried in parentheses, where whispers lived so quietly. No one paused to read the end, but I felt every word you faced. And though your pain was hard to seize, I knew your tears in parentheses. I turned a page and closed my eyes. The paper breathed like soft goodbyes. It smelled like time, like dust, like rain, like all the things we can't explain. No ink could tell me why you left, but still your scent was what was left. Pages smelled like goodbye, like something whispered, not quite dry. It lingered there, a fading trace of something lost, of empty space. No words, no tears, just quiet sky. The pages smelled like goodbye. but floats like ash that won't fall down. I turn the page but stay the same, still holding on to what remains. Final pages smell like goodbye, like love that never asked us why. You left a piece in every line, not yours, not mine, just out of time. And though I breathe and close my eyes, the pages still smell like goodbye. You hold the page, you skim the line, but miss the melody between the rhyme. I'm not just ink on paper white, there's rhythm hiding in the quiet. Don't just decode the words I choose. There's more in pauses, more interludes. Read me like a song, feel the notes when things go wrong. Don't analyze, don't overthink, just let me play the way I sink. Every breath I'm writing strong, so read me like a song. I'm not a quote you need to share, I'm chords beneath what's written there. Each line I wrote was meant to hum, like silence beating on a drum. If you just listen, and you might find a voice I buried in each line. Read me like a song, feel the breaks and sing along. Not every word is meant to stay, some fade like echo in the day. But if you feel me, we belong. So read me like a song. You don't need perfect harmony, just hear the heart inside of me. And when the page feels soft and warm, it's me beneath the written form. Final, read me like a song, let every silence carry on. Don't try to fix what doesn't fit, just sit with me and truly sit. I'm not just ink, I felt all along. So read me like a song. It slipped between the coffee stains, a page I dropped but can't explain. I didn't know what it contained, just felt a pull I can't regain. It wasn't marked, it wasn't signed, but something in it
I meant to pass, I meant to skim, but felt it pull me deep within. No title bold, no cry for help, but every word was like myself. That's where my heart got lost in stories paused and feelings tossed. I wasn't meant to stay that long, but silence made the echo strong. No map, no sign, no line embossed. Still, that's where my heart got lost. Not every fall is loud and sharp. Some float down slow like broken parts. And now I hold what slipped before. That missing page I can't ignore. That's where my heart got lost. No fire, no frost, no heavy cost. Just something soft I couldn't name, but nothing else.